course, EDU231, and in this tutorial we'll be talking about the development of curriculum in a country like Nigeria. So this being said, so straight into it. Okay. I think we are good to go. So we have EDU231. We have been talking about in our previous classes. We've been talking about curriculum development, and curriculum development. It's all about curriculum development, and we spoke about what it was like before colonial era and after. And today we're talking about its development in Nigeria. Now let's continue. Now, we said something about the colonial administration and how they came into Nigeria, before they came the Christians, teaching English, teaching people how to read and write, basically because they need to propagate the gospel. And basically, as we all know, that it's clearly shown that the Nigerian educational system, which emerged in the immediate post, that is after colonial era, was modeled after British pattern. All right. That's Nigerians educational system, all right, that emerged after colonization, all right, that emerged in the immediate, all right, in the immediate, all right, post colonization, all right, immediate post, I would say post, I mean after colonization, which is the colonial era, basically was molded, all right, was modeled after the British, all right, the British pattern. Okay. So everything then was basically molded, especially educational system, all right, strictly modeled after British pattern. That's a double T. Now, the British system of education then placed a levy, all right, it placed a levy, all right, a levy emphasis on classroom teaching, all right, classroom. Let's not forget, then when after the Christians, the colonial era, reason why people, all right, were sent to school, or the reason why we had people in school then, all right, is purely because of what the colonial masters needed to use them to do. All right, so that was why they were sent to school. So basically, it's just for them to be able to know what is expected in the office, this and that. So it's more of cognitive, all right, it's more of understanding what needed to be done. It's not about discovering their self personalities, what they are capable of, and how much more they can do. No, it's just all about achieve this, do this. All right. So it's basically more of a classroom teaching. All right. Classroom teaching or cognitive. All right. Classroom teaching or cognitive learning. Okay. So basically it was classroom teaching or cognitive learning at the expense of a child's overall welfare and personality development. Like I said earlier on, It's basically about what they want, about how their system can be improved, with little or no attention to a, all right, a child's overall welfare and personality development. So basically, it's this thing that continues from the political theorem and the economic theorem to the educational system. All right. Now, cognitive oriented curriculum was put in place such that learning regarded as having taken place when the learner is able to what regurgitate, all right, bring back to life what has been taught, or bring back from the past, regurgitate what has been some facts that has been taught. All right, so basically this is what the oriented cognitive oriented curriculum, all right, cognitive oriented curriculum, right? Basically it was cognitive oriented curriculum when we talk about the British kind of curriculum in Nigeria, okay, as at then. So learning then was just limited to a child understanding, all right, bringing back to life or bringing back from the past what he has been taught, all right. So it was basically all about that, nothing more, nothing less, all about the books. Now, when the First Republic collapsed and military regime took over, right, over the affairs of the Nigerian state under General Yakubu Gowon, all right, the second national development plan, okay, the second national development plan of 1970, second national development plan of 1970 to 74. Okay, so basically after the First Republic collapsed, okay, and immediately after that military regime took over, and this was led by the General Yakub Gowon. Now the second national development plan of 1970 to 1974 was published with 5 what principal national objectives. 5 principal national objectives. All right, it was published with 5 principal national objectives. All right, and basically the first was, all right, the first objective we have here is a united, strong, and self-reliant nation. All right, a great and dynamic economy. All right, a just and egalitarian society, a land of bright and full opportunity for all citizens. And we have the fifth one, which is the last one, a free and democratic society, right? So the 5 objectives. Now after that, we now have the 4th national development plan. Okay, after the second, we now have the 4th national development plan that came, right, and changed the nomenclature of development plan. 4th national development plan changed the nomenclature, all right, the nomenclature, all right, of development plan as a 4th national development plan. So we have that. Now this 4th national development plan, all right, it changed it to what? A rolling plan. All right, a rolling plan according to this 4th national development plan. Change the plan that existed to a rolling plan, okay, which apparently the objectives were to improve upon what has been. So according to Ibrahim, during this period of ruling plans, there were political slogans and jingles with promises, among others, of education, all right, for all the year 2000. Okay, now definitely new promises and new objectives. So now let's talk about bureaucracy. Now, bureaucracy is a system, and this system, bureaucracy is a system, and this system is it basically operates in the government. All right, it operates in the bureaucracy. All right, the system operates in is a system by which governments operate. A system bureaucracy is a system by which governments operate. There are strict laid down rules by which government must function. All right, basically, one thing with bureaucracy is that as good as it is, it can also be as devastating as it can be. When we say bureaucracy, we're only talking about stages to doing things. When it comes to management, one person can't just make a decision and everybody just abide by it. It has to go to it has to pass through different tables. Right? Sometimes it's called management bottleneck, meaning that there are some decisions that need urgency. So you might get to maybe before it's been approved, it needs to get to about 4 tables. Might get to the second man table and it's taking forever to respond. So this is bureaucracy basically, and this works with government. All right, basically government must follow certain, all right, follow strict rules. So we have, please, as you join the stream, do well to say hello, hi, and also smash the like button. So we have a good example, all right. All right, an education, permit me to erase the board. So now, the 1977 educational system introduced the 6334 educational educational system. All right, now on the most notable of such research, now basically this is the 6334 and it's a good example of the 1977 educational system. All right, now we have that as that. I believe we know the meaning of this 6334. I think this is the first school leaving, this is your GS, this is your SS, and this is your university. All right, so let's pay attention to that. So it makes the total of as 12, then 4, 16. Wow, 16 years in school. Serious. Okay, now we have let's talk about research on primary education. Okay, research on primary education. One of the most notable of such research, all right, is the IFE education project by IFE primary education project. All right, IFE primary education program by Professor Babs. By Professor Babs Fafunwa. All right, the IFE primary education project by Professor Babs Fafunwa is one of the most notable research work, all right, on primary education. One of the most notable research work on primary education. Now, the study major objective was to prove that a child is taught, all right, that if a child is taught in his or her mother tongue, such a child will what? If a child is taught subject in his or her mother's tongue, and if a child is taught in a foreign language, which one does learn better? All right, and this project was carried out in Yoruba land and was funded by the Ford Foundation of the United States. All right, funded by Ford Foundation of US. All right, USA. Ford Foundation of USA. So now, basically, the United States now so according to, based on this, according to UNESCO, all right, please let's pay attention to all these abbreviation dates and names. According to UNESCO, okay, UNESCO is an abbreviation for United Nations Educational Scientific. United Nations Educational Scientific and Cultural Organization, all right, reported in 1953. All right, they reported in 1953 that the research conducted, all right, says that although a child who learns in his mother tongue or in her mother tongue will understand and comprehend better, all right, but according to UNESCO reports in 1953 show that using any other language than the mother tongue as a medium of instruction damages the child's development. All right, all right. So L2 is other language. That's what it means. One of our codes in English education. So now, using second language, meaning that your any other language apart from your mother tongue is second language. All right. So when you use second language, other than L1, when using L1 other than L2, other than L1, all right, mother tongue L1, second language L2. All right, so if you are using that other than L1 as a medium of instruction, it damages the development. All right, the development of the child. Are we together? So we have that as that. So let's talk about let's talk about models. Let's talk about models of curriculum planning. Okay. Now, one of the model we're going to be talking about is that of Tyler's model. One of the earliest and well-known curriculum experts is Ralph Tyler. Ralph Tyler is one of the earliest and well-known, all right, and well-known, all right, well-known curriculum expert. Curriculum expert. Okay. According to him, in 1971, a planning curriculum have 4 basic questions that must be answered. 4 basic questions must be answered according to him. 1, 2, 3, 4. So according to him, he said the first question is, what educational purpose must the school seek to attain? All right, purpose there. What educational experience must be provided to attain this purpose of the objective? All right, experience. Okay, 3. How can the educational experiences be effectively organized? All right, organization. All right, and lastly, how can we determine whether or not expected objective attained? All right, we have monitoring. So these are the 4 basic questions it must answer according to him. And lastly, for today's class, general principles of curriculum planning. Okay, according to Daramola in 1955, we have examples are, the principles are principle of validity, how valid is the curriculum, how comprehensiveness, all right, how suitable, the suitability, does it suit its purpose, and how relevant is it. And also we have types of curriculum. Basically, we have just 2 types. We have formal and informal curriculum. Now, when we say formal curriculum, this deals with subject offers in school. Subject offered in school. Okay, this is also called Eden curriculum. That's the informal. Eden. All right, it's also called the Eden curriculum, and because students learn rather unconsciously in this type, what is done are not specified with detailed or elaborate procedures as in form of curriculum. All right, unconscious learning. Okay, so we have that as that. So I think on this note we'll call it a wrap. And in our next class, we'll be taking curriculum development, all right, selection of objectives. So thank you very much, everyone. I believe you have been able to take a thing or two down. Please and please, if you're here to submit your notes, do well to take a picture of the note and send to the private class. Thank you very much, and I look forward to seeing you all in subsequent tutorials. Have a wonderful afternoon.